This podcast was brought to you by Inner World Inc. Explore your world within. Today we have a conversation with Billee Burchett. So we're going to discuss a subject that I have always been confused about, and it's about multitasking. Now, I'm always told that women are so good at multitasking and men are not, and I kind of lived with this idea, but I'm wondering if this is more of a mythology because of the fact that I find myself when I'm multitasking, I do a little bit of everything poorly. How does that translate with, can my internal work be able, make it possible, I should say, for me to be better at multitasking? Because I really want to learn how to do this.
Well, actually, there's a few things that we'd say about multitasking. First of all, they're coming out now saying that there's no such thing as multitasking, that the brain cannot do more than one thing at a time. And that's true. The human brain cannot do more than one thing at a time. But it's called multitasking, not simultaneous tasking.
Okay.
Okay, so the universities who are doing these big studies, it's multitasking, not simultaneous tasking. Okay, because that bothers me that they come out with these articles because I'm a major multitasker.
Okay.
But so that being said, okay, the problem with multitasking is that we are in a society, people who do multitask and they can do all of these things at once, we are now in a society that has all of these items that come out to help us make life simpler, okay, to simplify it. And what it ends up doing is adding more to us, because before we had to wait till we got home to check our email. Now we can check our email on our phone. So people who are multitaskers really have way too much going on at once. And when that drops down into the energy realm, the soul realm, your energy goes into every one of those multitaskings. So each task you put your energy into. So if you have 10 tasks, then you have 10 streams of energy going into each, one going into each task.
And so that's why we feel really drained.
Exactly. And then if you go, oh, look, I have this new phone that will help me to be able to organize and simplify and get it all done sooner. So you get this new phone, and now it has other apps that you add more to it. Next thing you know, you're multitasking 12 new items, 14 new items.
Or like you're saying, simultaneous tasking. Because I have found that, I guess the feedback that you've also even mentioned to me is that, I need to have time to unplug. Mm-hmm. And I was starting to observe myself since that point, and I found that I would be in this great situation where I would, somebody would say, oh, you have so-and-so is 20 minutes behind, say, for instance, and so I'm going to sit in the waiting room. And that could be 20 minutes of me sitting and reading a magazine there, or just sitting and resting.
Not in today's world.
And that's not what I do. I immediately pop on my phone, maybe check a social media account, get email, something gets prompted. I have 2 or 3 texts that come through. I respond in that way. And I'm doing it all at once while I'm waiting. So that's what you call the simultaneous tasking.
Yeah.
And that is where I'm like, oh, I suck at this. And then add to that, trying to listen to music or, maybe a TV show in the background at home while I'm trying to respond to an email. And to the point where, I'm like, I can't do any of this, so I have to turn off everything and then just do the one thing.
And we all wonder why we're overwhelmed and we're tired. Yeah. Not so much because our brains are overwhelmed and tired, but our actual energy systems are overwhelmed and tired.
So what you're saying is that we're bleeding out energy without even realizing it in our modern age. It's not, technology is not bad.
No.
But
not at all.
Because we're bleeding out this energy without even realizing. We're simultaneous tasking. I love that word. That's why I'm using it so much now.
Yeah. No, we're actually multitasking. Simultaneous is one. So, but yes, that's what we're doing, is we are actually bleeding out energy. And in the morning now, most people have their phones next to their side of the bed, and in the morning, that's the first thing they pick up, and they start looking at the news or their Facebook or whatever to wake themselves up, and they don't realize that they're automatically bleeding out their energy, and their multitasking brains have started. Mm-hmm. And until we get more used to the technology age, we need to learn balance.
Right.
And here's the other thing. Don't swing the other way. Don't take your multitasking self down to single tasking, because you will make yourself crazy. So you have to find a balance. So if you are a person that multitasks 12 things at once, take it down to 10, then 6. And you'll notice that you have more energy and you'll feel better by doing 6 tasks rather than 12. And when you do get it down to 6 tasks and simplify it, don't add more. Because as soon as we go, I'm all done, I can go home early, then we go, oh, well, I'll just sit here on my phone and add some more things to my life.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're back up to 12.
Okay. That is so brilliant. So, in a nutshell, what do you have to say about multitasking and simultaneous tasking?
This is what I have to say. A dear friend of mine put it this way, and I love it this way. I love how she said it. She says, I can do one thing really well, or I can do many things half-assed. And your energy follows that too. So always remember that.
Okay, so we heard it. Thank you, Billee. For more information about Billee Burchett and her teachings, please go to her website at BilleeBurchett.com. That's BILLEE Burchett.com. Or find her on Facebook. Thanks for listening, and please keep in touch.